to go ahead and get started here today. So good to see everyone. I'm Robert Redmond, in case you guys don't know me. And I'm excited about today's group call because we're going to be doing things a little bit differently. Just here at Redmond Growth, we are constantly asking ourselves, how can we help clients get better results without using more of their time? Because we know that your time is valuable. We've got a lot of guys here in their trucks on the job site actually doing work. And so we keep on asking ourselves that question. And we're going to try something here for the next few group calls where we're going to do it kind of like we normally do it. We're going to start like we normally do it. Today I'm going to be talking about, I guess I should share my screen now, shouldn't I? Whoa. Today we're going to be talking about we're going to be addressing burning fires. We're going to be talking about selling through a process. This is something we're really, really big on, something that some of you may already be doing. But then we're going to actually break up about 30 minutes into the call. We're going to break everyone up in the call with individual coaches. And we're going to be doing what we call a sales process audit. Was everyone able to get that email that we sent out on Wednesday with that worksheet? I got some thumbs up. I got other thumbs up. Oh, you guys are amazing. Thumbs down? Okay, well, we got some thumbs down. For the thumbs down people, don't worry. We'll get you taken care of. But we're going to be trying something where we're breaking out into different rooms and actually giving you guys some real feedback on your own sales process. We're going to be asking you a few questions, but then being able to give you some feedback. It's going to be a time for people who've never built a sales process, people who have a sales process, to really look at things and see where stuff is going wrong. And then we'll be providing some individual coaching in those breakout rooms. And so, as always, I want to start with the wins of the week. I've got a really cool photo here, if you guys can see that. What the heck am I looking at? That is a water softener and a tankless water heater. The cool thing about this, one client that I work with, Copper Peaks Plumbing, they're in Salt Lake City. This is actually a screenshot from an Instagram story that was posted by a professional soccer player named Nick Raimondo. The cool story for these guys is this guy, Nick Raimondo, posted on his Instagram, "I'm looking for a plumber." The owner of Copper Peaks, my client, he reached out and said, "Hey, I'm a plumber." Got the guy to come to his house. He gave him an estimate. He accepted the job. And then he actually promoted their plumbing company on his Instagram, which has like tens of thousands. It has like over 50,000 followers. So I just thought that was a really cool win. Do we have any other wins? Big, cool things that happen? It looks like no one blew their face off for 4th of July. That's good. Any other wins that we have?
I know Brent. Yeah, Brent, go for it.
Wins. Couple wins. We teamed up with Hearth Financing. So now we offer financing within our company. Hopefully that goes well. I'm not sure if anyone else has experience with Hearth, but we're going to give that a go.
Nice.
If we can pick up, try to build on to get projects we may not have gotten. And then through last week's meeting, like knowing your value, what I took from that, and Harley coaching me on using my calendar more and living by my calendar, we implemented our first ever sales meeting. We've had team meetings. We've been doing that for about 10 months now, but that's with the whole team. Now we've designated an additional time slot every other day morning. We're doing team meetings with just me and my sales staff, and we're going to work on sales.
That is awesome.
Top of that, I'm also now, we put it in our schedule permanently. I'm in the office every other Wednesday. I'm in the office. I'm not out in the field. So that's just a big win because I've never put it on a schedule, and I've never had my staff on board with supporting me to be in the office. So That's big for
Love
us.
hearing that. That's big.
Woo!
Yeah, that's huge. He's
Yeah.
living it. He's living what we do. We want to get people out of the field, making more profits, making more revenue, and enjoying their actual lives more. That's awesome. And I love seeing Ryan. Ryan was sitting on the boat. I think Ryan may be 2 millers deep already. But here's what I love about Ryan. What I love about what was that?
Way past 2.
Okay, way past 2. Let's just leave it at 3. He's at 3. But what I love about him is this dude is on the boat, past 2 millers deep, still on the group call. I love that. Any other wins that we want to share before we move on? Look around the room here. I think we're good. Let's move on. Nicholas.
We have one win.
Yeah, let's hear it, buddy.
The same thing like what was mentioned earlier. We were able to put and support our sales team on a piece of software called Eased Edge. And,
oh, nice.
And we were able to set up that process for them, so that
that's
huge.
That was great. Well, I love these wins.
Track sales.
I love these wins that I'm hearing for the sales team, because that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to be talking about selling through a process. Okay. Sales is something that can be methodical, can be predictable and repeatable every time. But in order for it to perform that way, you have to have a process. And that's what we're going to be talking about. And that's what we're going to be auditing in our breakout rooms today. Has anyone heard of Chet Holmes? Chet Holmes. Yes, we're big on Chet Holmes here at Redmond Growth. He has this awesome book that I would recommend to every business owner called Ultimate Sales Machine. It sounds like a book on sales, but it's really a book about how to run a great business. It's on hiring people, it's on recruiting, it's on people management, it's on time management, it's on marketing, it's on advertising. And this quote from Chet Holmes that I love, yeah, there it is. Mr. Jonathan Rood's holding it up right there. He has it on his desk, Ultimate Sales Machine. Mastery isn't about doing 4,000 things. It's about doing 12 things 4,000 times. And the big question that I have as it relates to your sales process is what 12 things, and it doesn't have to be 12. Don't get hung up on the number. What 12 things, what repeatable things are you doing every single time? No matter what, this is how we sell every single time. This is the defined steps. These are the number of steps, and we do this every single time. So I got some questions for our team here. You can just, answer these to yourself. If you want to give a thumbs up, raise a hand, do an emoji, you can do that on the Zoom call here. But questions to ask yourself. Are you the main one who closes deals? As a business owner, are you the main one who closes deals? I see Hawk. Big nod. Hawk, I was thinking about you, buddy, when I was putting this together. I was actually thinking about you. Are you the main one who closes deals? Are you reluctant to trust your team to sell? Do we know that we can take care of it better than the rest of the team? I've been tempted with that before. I feel that way before, still. Is your team not doing things you want them to do while selling? Can we not get guys following something that we want them to do in the field during the customer interaction, during the sales process? Is your conversion rates lower than what they should be? You look at your conversion. Man, I think we can close more. It's just a feeling. I feel we can close more. Are you that person? Do things get disorganized during your sales process? Oh, we forgot to get that proposal out. Oh my gosh, I forgot about that appointment. Oh, hey, do we know where their permits are? Does anyone know where their permits are? Do things get disorganized in your process? Do you wow customers consistently during your sales process? Are they actually saying, oh my gosh, this is incredible, before you even ask them to buy? Are you wowing them in your sales process?
Can you guys hear me? I'm quiet.
We can hear you, buddy.
Sorry, I just can't see my mute button on my phone out here.
It's okay.
Sorry about all y'all are hearing.
Ryan,
I'm
good.
Bob, you on here?
What's up, Ryan? I'm worried I'm going to have to mute you, buddy.
Sorry if Bob's on here, but one of the biggest things we had when we grew was me and him were the only ones that did sales, and that was it. It was just me and him. And then we hired office staff to start answering the phones and following the script that you guys wrote. And that helped a lot. You guys hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you, buddy.
All
right. I appreciate that. Yeah. Bob, if you can help me maybe manage Ryan a little bit, that'd be great. No, I'm just kidding. So if you answered no to any of these questions, or if you answered yes to the first 3 questions, I realize not every question, but if any of these questions, if they're resonating with you, then it's time to look at your sales process. I want to tell a story of this couple right here. This is a client I've been working with for 2 years. This is Mike and Julie Mathis. Mike and Julie Mathis are in their late 60s, and they're working in their business. They have a business called Affordable Building Concepts. It's based in Nashville, Tennessee. They specialize in building pergolas, sheds, garages, carports, barns. They call themselves the backyard builder. And that's all that they do. They only specialize in that. They've got a $5 million business right now. They are having a hard time making a profit, but they're consistently hitting profits of $40,000 to $60,000 a month right now. Just 2 years ago, Mike and Julie were managing everything in their business. They were in their mid-60s, still managing everything. Mike was still organizing every construction site. He was still taking every sales call. He was still calling every lead. But now, I literally just talked to Mike yesterday during our meeting at 3 o'clock. He goes, Robert, I'm sitting by the pool in Florida. They just bought a second home in a luxury retirement community off of the Gulf of Mexico near Destin, Florida. And they're now working in their business about 1 to 2 weeks per month. They're spending in the business. The rest of the time, 2 to 3 weeks per month consistently, they're spending time in Florida. And their business continues to run and continues to generate profits. This isn't some like made up Ty Lopez buy a Lamborghini dream I'm trying to sell you guys. Like, I'm sharing this story because we have real clients that are living this out. And the way that Mike and Julie did it is they understood that their business is meant to serve them. And over the past 2 years, we have just been getting methodical with every single aspect of their business, especially their sales process, to now they have a way to generate leads consistently. They have someone calling to book those leads. They have a team of salespeople to go on those appointments. That team of salespeople has a full checklist that they're following on every sales call. They have materials like a one sheet, a workmanship warranty guarantee, a low price flyer guarantee that they bring on every sales call and show their guys. Their company runs like a well-oiled machine. And their processes are the real keys to freedom. They're not involved in the business hardly at all to this point. And that's been his dream for a long time. Another thing here, others can sell. I'm looking at you, Hawk. Others can sell as good as you, and that's okay. Are we empowering them to do that by replicating what you, Hawk, know? What you know as a business owner is proven to work. Are we replicating that through a process? So let's get into it. I just want to start real basic here, guys. Just how to build, and gals, oh my goodness, Andy Cruders, we got 2 gals there. I thought I was just talking to guys. Good to see you. How to build an effective sales process, okay? The first thing to do, as the owner, as a guy who's had to close deals to eat, that's you as a business owner. You know how to sell. What do you know works right now? Start there. Just what do you know that works right now? It's real simple. Write it all down. Write down everything that you know works. Write that down in order. Just get a piece of paper out. Write it down. All the things in order. From when a lead is generated, from when you close. All those little things, the little text messages, the emails, the calls, to how you show up to an appointment, to what you're wearing. What is everything that you do that you know that works from when a lead is generated, from when a deal is closed? Write it down. And when I say everything, I mean everything. You know, even in our onboarding document, I don't think I have time to show you guys today. I'd be happy to show you. If you're ever with a coaching meeting with one of our coaches are welcome to show you. We have every single step down, and we need to update it because we just got new software, but we even have what to mark in our software about every step down, documented. Everything means everything. Every email, every text, every update in your software, every phone script, every appointment, write it all down, document it all. The second thing here, after you write it all down, document it in an accessible way. And the accessible way is really important. You can't just leave it on a scratch piece of paper and just start handing that piece of paper out to your team. You know, if it's not documented, it's not defined, and it's not a process. This is something that Jonathan Root is really big on our team. Documenting everything. You know, everything needs to be documented. If it's not documented, it's not defined. And then the second thing to think about here, team, is can your team access it quickly and easily? Do we have it somewhere that no one can find? Do we have it somewhere that people can find? You know, can they access it quickly wherever it's documented? Step 1, write it all down. Step 2, document it. Maybe that's gonna be in like a shared Google Doc, like our agendas that we have. Maybe that's a checklist that you print out and pass to your team and laminate on a high quality paper so it doesn't get destroyed. Maybe it's a sales training video where you're explaining every element of your process and you're showing people how to do it. Make sure it's not just documented, but it's documented in a way that your team can access. Okay? Number 3, Kaizen your sales process. Pop quiz. Does anyone know what Kaizen means? Hawk.
I believe it's a Japanese process of defining and simplifying every process that you're going through.
Yeah. So Kaizen is a Japanese word. It comes from Japanese business philosophy. Probably the world's best brand that we're all familiar with that does this excellently is the brand called Toyota. And we all can think or say what we want to about Toyotas, but those vehicles seem to last longer than any other vehicle on the road. Kaizen is a Japanese business word for continuous improvement. We're always making things better. It's never perfect. We're always seeking to make it better. Your process is never set it and forget it. I came up with my sales process. Here's the one I'll use for the next 10 years. Oh, we got a process. No, we got to constantly make it better. We got to constantly keep up with technology. We got to constantly realize what's not working with it and make it better. And then the last thing here is you make improvements. You don't change the whole thing all the time. You just make one piece better at a time. Make improvements based on what's working. What's not working in your sales process. And you can't even know what's not working unless you have a sales process to start. Why? Because what are you comparing it to? How do you know that something's not working if people are following different steps every time? You make improvements. How do you know what's not working? Where are people getting stuck in your sales process? Where are most of the leads falling off in your sales process? Where are our team failing in our sales process? That's the thing that's telling you what to make better, what part of your sales process. Number 4, accountability and training. I think it was Darren. He may have had to hop off the call, but just shared this earlier about his sales meeting, about he actually has a meeting for his sales team to provide accountability and training. If an individual team member is struggling on your team making sales, go back to the documented process, meet with them, pull up that process in a meeting and spot where are they having trouble? What are they not following? I do this with our team to this day. Even our veteran salespeople who are really good will listen to their recorded calls and I'll pull up our sales process and I'll say, why didn't we say this or that? That's where we're dropping this guy, or that's where we're losing people. We're pulling up the sales process and training based upon that. Number 2, train your team in delivering your sales process regularly. This is what Darren was just celebrating for his win. Is train your team regularly in the sales process. Role play with them. Ask them questions as if you're a prospect. What questions might come up? How do they respond to it? Stick to that documented process and train based upon that process. Don't expect them to know everything that a salesperson, it's not mastering 4,000 things. It's mastering the 12 things 4,000 times. And then review improvements with your entire team. And this is big. If you guys make an adjustment as an owner to your process, or maybe you make an adjustment with an individual, make sure that's reviewed with the entire team. Make sure the rest of the team really is clued in to what things are being done to make adjustment. Have a meeting. Guys, here's our sales process. As you know, we added this step. We removed this step. We added this email. We want everyone doing this. It's documented right here so you guys access it. Now you can follow it and go implement it. So it's writing everything down, documenting it in an accessible way, applying the Kaizen to your sales process, making sure that we're continuously improving it based upon what's not working, and then have accountability and regular training for your sales process. If people are struggling, go back to the process. Maybe someone's struggling isn't just them struggling. Maybe it's you who needs to improve your sales process, but always go back to the process. These are questions that Jonathan actually brought up in the last meeting that we had in April about the sales process. I want to leave them in here because they're really good questions. These are questions to ask yourself while you're creating your sales process, okay? Number 1, who on your team will own that step? Who's responsible for that step? Number 2, within what time frame will they complete it? How quickly do we need a proposal? Hey, 6th stage in our sales process is send a proposal to the customer. Well, if there's 2 different people, 3 different people on your sales team, we can interpret that 2 or 3 different ways. Oh yeah, I got a proposal out to them the next week, versus we want to get proposals out to people as soon as we can. No more than 48 hours after the sales appointment should someone receive a proposal. What time frame will they complete it? What are the possible outcomes on this step? What are all the different ways someone can go from here? Jonathan included a workflow in his last meeting, and that's a really smart thing to do with your sales process. Either they say no or yes, or they want us to follow up. If they say want us to follow up, what do we do after that? Document that, build that out. List each realistic outcome and be prepared for it. Number 1, appointment took place, but prospect wasn't ready to make a decision. What do you do in that situation? Is that defined? You know that this is going to happen. You guys are in business. You know people aren't going to make a decision when it comes time to close. What needs to be done? Is that documented? Number 2, appointment took place, but prospect isn't a good fit. Do we know what makes a prospect a good fit? These are things that I've had to define with our sales team. Hey guys, if someone is being really resistant on the growth plan, just wrap up the growth plan. Hey, Redmond growth isn't a fit for you. Good luck on your own. People know how to define whether or not someone isn't a good fit. Appointment took place and prospect is ready to buy. Do we know what's happening next? What's the next stage if they're ready to go? Appointment didn't take place. They missed their appointment. What do we do next? What's our rescheduling system? How do we want to get them back on board? If you don't define it, this may seem overboard, but if you don't define it, you leave it up to interpretation, and that's where it fails. Because people on your team, they're not going to care as much as you do. Then for each outcome, define what happens next. Example, not ready to buy. This is a great example of what we were talking about earlier. Someone says they're not ready to buy. Okay, let's schedule a follow-up appointment. Well, hey, why don't you guys talk to your husband, talk to your wife, talk to Congress, talk to Jesus if you have to. Just take your time. We'll follow up in 2 days. Update your lead tracker. Make sure that's being updated. Hey, not ready to buy, following up in 2 days. We're updating the lead tracker. Add that follow-up to your calendar. Hey, did you add that follow-up to your calendar? You said they weren't ready to buy. I want to see the follow-up in your schedule to make sure it's happening. Send confirmation email to your follow-up appointment. Hey, so great talking to you. Here's the details of the proposal. I look forward to talking about it again in 2 days. These are the kind of questions. This is how detailed you want to get with every step. Leave nothing to interpretation. Define every step. Okay, just some points on identifying issues. We can make improvements by analyzing your current process. Starting somewhere will help you make the process better. Writing something down will allow you to make improvements. Otherwise, how do we know what we're improving? You know, if I was told to edit a book, make a book better, Harley's a ghostwriter. Harley, if I told Harley, hey, Harley, I want you to edit this book, I've got to give Harley a book to edit in order for him to make his improvements as a writer. We've got to have it documented. These are some things you can ask yourself to identify issues. Hey, am I booking most of my leads for the first appointment or any stage? These are just questions. You know, where are things falling apart? How do I identify issues? Do I give quotes and never hear back from anyone? Well, that's where you got to improve your sales process. Am I closing everyone? Am I closing nobody? What is our closing rate? You know, based upon our closing rate, do we have room for improvement? Then the last thing here, back to this Kaizen concept that we're talking about. You want to make the improvements and adjustments based on data. I like this little picture of this sales training cyborg. Things like, hey, we're not selling with a one sheet. Maybe we can sell with a one sheet, and that's going to bring that wow factor. Wow, you guys really do stand out from your competition. Do they know your value? We talked about that last group call. One sheet's a great way to do it. Are we selling our unique value during the sales process? Do we have automated texts and emails? Is our software set up to send people automated texts and emails based upon each stage? You know, Robert, I don't know how to do that. Have someone do that for you if you can't be automated with it. Assign someone, give someone a task. Hey, send this person a text. Send every lead that comes in a text and email after they come in. Adjusting a script to get people to keep appointments. This is something we've had to do at Redmond Growth. I don't know what it is about contractors. They don't like keeping an appointment. I know why. It's because we're busy. We've got customers. We want to make money. I get it. But even in our sales process, we realized people weren't keeping their appointments. So what did we do? We added to our script. Hey, I'm going to send you a calendar invite. It's going to go to your email. I'm going to take some time to let you accept it. Can you accept it? Okay, great. You accepted it. We don't have our sales team get off the phone until they accepted it. You know, adjusting a script to get appointments. All right. So that's all I want to present.